murdered. Yeah, yeah. Coming up on Mental Health Matters with Marty, stay tuned as we continue the series on how to remain focused. You're going to love it. You don't want to miss out. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Yep, it's me. It's your host, Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and always in living color, all the way from Southern California, where I wish we could say it never rains, but we got some rain this week, and I ain't complaining because y'all know we live in a desert and we need some rain down here. But how you living? What's up, good people? Listen, we want you to give a shout out. Let us know you're listening. Let us know where you're listening from and invite some people in the room. We have been doing this amazing series on focus. What does it mean to focus? Listen, now, I'm going to use what Reverend Dr. Margarita Story says. She says, now is the time that we should focus. And what is now? New opportunities waiting. If we don't focus on those new opportunities waiting, we're going to miss out on all the blessings and all the goals that we have in life. But listen, you got to stay tuned. This is part 3 of this amazing series. Now, let me remind you what we are all about. What are you all about, Marty? I'm so glad you asked that question. The Mental Health Matters with Marty show is designed as a psychoeducational support tool to help you along your mental health and social and psychological wellness. We are not N-O-T, underline, bold, italicized. We are not a substitute for you to see your therapist. We are not a substitute for you to see your psychologist. We are definitely not a substitute for you to see your psychiatrist. However, we are a supplement. In other words, we want to write you into your treatment plan on how to maintain your medical and your psychological, emotional health and wellness. But if you are experiencing any type of crisis, whether it's psychological, whether it's physical, please dial 911 or go to your nearest urgent care, because we want to make sure that you are, like the intro says, that you are enjoying your life. Be free and live right. That's what it's all about. Now, how do you engage with us? I'm so glad that you asked. How do you engage? Listen, y'all, I've been sharing that we are about to go exclusively to YouTube starting in March. So if you have not liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to do that. But you can also do that by engaging in our Mental Health Matters with Marty Facebook. But like and subscribe on YouTube. You heard that ding. That lets you know that you are now a subscriber of the Mental Health Matters with Marty show on YouTube. We need you to be on YouTube. Now, some of y'all fuss at me. I haven't heard your response. Why aren't you responding to me? Because y'all, the reason we're going to YouTube, because Facebook, in these new algorithms that they are doing, we don't always see your comments, and a lot of times they don't come till the end of the show. So we are not trying to purposely ignore you or not acknowledge that you are watching the show. However, when you are on YouTube, we get to see all of your comments. So if you want us to see your comments, please, again, Daryl, let's show that YouTube, how to do that one more time. How to do that? You go to YouTube, you like, subscribe, and as simple as that, Mental Health Matters with Marty. We got the graphics and the sound. Don't play with us. But listen, let us know you are out there. Who's there? What are we talking about today? Focus Part 3, reaching our goals and going to the next level. You guys always hear me say, I'm not one big on New Year's resolutions. Why? Because I make them on the first, but before the third even gets here, I'm throwing them out the window. So I wanted to challenge us during the month of January. What are we focusing on? Let's go to our, what I like to call our Speak Up segment of the show. Speak up. What are you saying, Marty? Do you know, when we're talking about focusing, we are looking at how do we focus, and especially for those of you who are desiring to have your own business. Last week, we had the amazing, none other than Justin Hudson from One Love IE, who was here. And he shared with us his story about being a Black male business owner, what that entails, what it looks like, putting on the different masks and changing who we are in order to fit the clients that we are in front of. I was doing some research since last week, y'all, and I was looking at some statistics. According to the ProfitWise News, in an article that was written in November of 2020, we saw that, and we already knew that COVID affected businesses as a whole. But if you are a minority-owned business owner or a Black business owner, the actual effects of COVID when it first came out affected us greater than it affected many others. Why? Because we already know, according to this report, there are so many disparities when it comes to Black-owned businesses. What are some of the disparities? When we're looking at Black-owned businesses as a whole, the majority of Black-owned businesses are in the service sector, meaning restaurants, customer service, some sort of service-oriented business, or in transportation. Why? I don't know if we're trying to escape or run from some places, but those are the main areas that are business. I have a service-oriented business when we're talking about Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services. That's a service-oriented business, and it's even in the title of our company. The number two thing, there have been gaps in traditional funding when we're talking about banks. There's been some enormous gaps. This has not been a surprise to us because throughout history, there has always been gaps in funding. Especially if you're too dark or you don't come with the right family name or you don't have all of that, most Black-owned businesses are self-funded. Let me say that again. Most Black-owned small businesses are self-funded. Why? Because many of us cannot get the loans from the banks because we don't have the right skin color, because we don't have the right degree or what have you behind us. And then we also know that there's unfair credit cycles that often you have to give. You're given all this information. You know, you can have a credit score of 800, but it's still not enough because they want X, Y, and Z. Well, you haven't had it long enough. Well, we're looking at this. Well, you have too many student loans. You have too many of this. And we know in order to build a business, it takes capital. Many of us don't have the capital investments, or we don't have access to how to get capital investments for us and how to get those monies without having to pay them back. There were some COVID loans out there. Many of the Black small-owned businesses could not qualify for one reason or another. And then can we talk about unfair practices? And I like to call invisible policies that also make us not qualify for what businesses we have today. That becomes a burden to us, that can affect us psychologically, that can affect us motivationally, that can affect the core business and how we do the practice. And many of us are robbing Peter in order to pay Paul. Pardon me. And it's getting hard for us to get ahead. So with that in mind, that's why I want to do this focus series, because I wanted to encourage you. If you have not started a business, but that's always been your desire or dream, you can do it. So I've been bringing business owners and other people on here to encourage you along the way. Now, there was a shift that happened starting in April, May of 2020, and we saw it even in August, that as a direct result of everything that's been happening in the political world and the climate. Listen, everyone else has been taking advantage of it. We have seen an increase in Black-owned businesses and support to Black-owned businesses. But however, we cannot allow that trend to stop. Let me say that again. We cannot allow that trend to stop. We have to learn in our communities, in our Black and brown communities, how to recycle our dollars within our communities. Oh, I wish I had someone out there that would at least agree with me and put a high five in the comment section, put a fist bump, a thumbs up or something if you agree with that. We cannot stop this practice, and we have to learn how to recycle our dollars so that we are helping each other. And let me say this for free too, because I'm just feeling it now. Y'all done got me on a roll. We have to stop discounting Black-owned businesses because we may make a mistake. Let me say that again. We have to stop discounting and disowning and stop not supporting Black-owned businesses just because they made a mistake. Listen, you still go to Walmart, and how many times have they made a mistake on you? You still go to Target, and how many times have they messed up and missed your order? We still go to Amazon, and how many times have they messed up your shipment and your shipping and sent you the wrong thing, and we don't even return it? I got a closet full of stuff that I'm too lazy to return back to Amazon that I still support them. We have to learn how to support one another and continue that trend. That's for free. Yes, it is. But we have to, what I always say is this: we got to go the extra mile. If one of my brothers and sisters who has a business and they mess up or make a mistake, I go to them in love and say, bro, sis, let me tell you something. Thank you for your services. However, I'm going to offer for consideration that you make this change. Or I tell them some of the service that I maybe got from them that they were unaware of. We have to support and let each other know what our expectations are and say it in love as we support one another. Because if you've never tried to be self-employed, especially as a Black-owned business, you don't know the real struggle of what it's like. So that's my Speak Up. Now, in our next segment on the Speak Out, I am so excited to have this young brother here with me today to share with us his experience and his constant trying to focus, remain focused, and what it means to stay on that focus train. Because let me tell you, it is not easy to do that. So let's welcome for the very first time, but not the last time, owner of the Self-Made Training Facilities in Redlands, California, none other than my brother, Justin Jerry. What's up, Justin?
What's going on, Doc? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you as well. Listen, you heard my long soliloquy at the beginning. but how much of that spoke to you as a business owner, as a businessman?
When I was in the waiting room, I'm not sure if you can really see me, but I'm just shaking my head as you're talking. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
So everything from the mistakes. My dad always instilled into us that, hey, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard because we may not get that second chance. My dad was a business owner, but we need to give that grace as well, because you're 100% right. Any other establishment that's owned, we will go in and give them a second, third, fourth, fifth chance. That hit right home.
Man, sure. How many times have we given Denny's a second, a 2000 try because they messed up our order or something, but we still go right back to Denny's, especially after the club. Y'all know,
yes,
the Saints. or after church or whatever.
Yes,
We
sir.
still go back to Denny's and some of these other establishments, get the same tired food, get the same poor customer service,
Yep.
but we will still give them our money. But as soon as we make one mistake, a minor mistake, we're like, no, that's why I don't support Black-owned businesses.
Yep.
We got to change our own
100%.
stinking thinking. Yes, yes. Justin, this is
That's
your first time
100%
on the
right. I have
show.
to go ahead.
No, I was like, this is the first time on the show. Tell us who you are and share with us your business, man, and what you do.
My name is Justin Jerry. I'm from Rialto, California. I am a son. I'm going to take from my man Justin Hudson from last week. I'm a son. I'm a husband.
Yeah.
I'm a father, business owner. I'm a friend, man. I'm everything, man.
Yeah.
I try to be who I'm supposed to be for that person.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell us about your business. Tell us about your business, man.
So I own Self-Made Training Facility in Redlands, California. It is a franchise. We are the largest training facility in America currently. We'll see how that changes. We are 26,000 square feet. We offer personal training, MMA, boxing, cryotherapy, massage therapy, teeth whitening. Man, we have it all. We have it all here. Yeah, so basically what it is, if you want to think about more of a barbershop model. So trainers come in here with me, vendors come in here, and they rent the space, and they have 24/7 access to the facility.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. What led you into this particular business? Because, you got multiple hats, besides being a husband, a son, a father, a business owner, a friend, dog. You also have multiple businesses that you own, operate, manage, and everything as well. But what got you into this business that you're in right now?
So I thought about that, and for me, I love working out. So whatever you love, they always talk about how you should go ahead and pursue that. Maybe it's investing, or maybe it's things like that, because that's what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. So for me, while I'm growing up, I told my mom, I'm getting a haircut every week, and I'm going to own a gym. And I get a haircut every week, and now it's like, man, I wanted to own a gym. So finding this niche business model where I don't have to be here all the time, provide a facility, but it's not a gym membership based. It's where the trainers come in. So it was just a great model. I spoke to the CEO, Miguel. I was like, hey, looking to franchise this, and 3 years later, we're here.
Wow.
We are here.
Okay. Let's talk about that. You said you had this dream. How do you take a dream, a concept, from here to make it a reality? What was that like for you, and how did you not lose hope or sight in the process of that?
So I want to be able to provide, for your viewers and things like that, that there were times where it's like, I don't think this is gonna work. There were times where I just wanted to give up, because we have those times. Even through loving the process. For me, I knew that I had put down a franchise fee that I could not get out of. So that was a driving force.
Okay.
That was a driving force for
money.
me.
I got to get a return on my investment. Come on.
There's some thousands of dollars out there that needs to be invested well. And so we kept going.
Right.
My wife will tell you the same. We're not going to stop because we put too much money down. So for me, actually, between, the financial component for sure, but at the same time, it was don't stop. And I found that I left some stones unturned. When things got hard, I left stones unturned. Prove to yourself that you're not going to allow that stone to be unturned, that you can continue to go forward. For me, mentally, I had to overcome that. I had to finish the process.
Yeah. I love that. So, and then you talk about when it got tough, when times got tough. How and what was your strategy, your trick, your plan for when times got hard? Because can we talk about COVID when it hit and how it impacted your business? But how do you, when you've already invested, like you said, thousands of dollars, you can't just decide I'm gonna close the doors. You got to think outside the box.
Absolutely.
So how did you get through that hard time?
So the biggest thing for me in all aspects is pivoting. I mean, I played basketball
Okay.
growing up, so when you pivot,
Okay.
you're able to give yourself a better vantage point when you can't move.
Right.
So we had to pivot. I remember that day with COVID, and it really
Nice.
came down to where things were really closing down. I was
Right.
in the
Right.
car. I was actually grabbing some toiletries from Smart and Final to bring back to the gym, and I had to make a decision. And I sent out a text message and I told them, "Hey guys, it looks like we might have to close for a minute. You know, the state's
Right.
mandating it." I got a couple of emails.
Right.
But how do you keep those trainers encouraged? How do you work through the lease and try to pay the lease? How do you keep
Right.
the trainers employed? What
Yeah.
avenues can you offer them? So what we did is looked at the online training aspect. You know, really bolstering our online training and giving it to their clients. The nutrition app that we had. And also we did some things that when I talk about pivoting, we came up with these ideas to where our clients, our trainers would go on live through
Mm-hmm.
our Instagram page,
Oh,
and
that's
they would
good.
have
Okay.
training sessions on live Instagram. You know, and
Okay.
so it's like keeping you
Okay.
motivated. We know you're in the house. We found different ways, different avenues to get back open a little sooner. And
Yeah.
actually, once we, you know, down the line a little bit sooner, we opened up. That's when we actually did our best in business because we were one of the few training facilities open in the area.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh,
How
yeah.
has your training facility and even how has it impacted your life in making a difference? Because I'm a believer in this physical and mental. You know, I've had some conversations about that, just, you know, just one-on-one on conversating through different things, you know, talking about business and all that, you know.
Sure, sure.
And I believe there's a direct correlation between our physical health and our mental health. And as we now use
100%.
exercising, we use massage. Because listen, let me tell you something. I went and got me a massage on Sunday. I'm like, nah, I'm doing some self care. Why is that important
Absolutely.
for us, especially as a people, when we see that COVID is a respiratory problem and that we are dying in disproportionate numbers because we as a people are not physically healthy? Come on.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
how do you speak to that person who may not understand fitness? Or maybe I'm embarrassed because, you know, when I was in high school, you know how we always go back to high school. See, back in the day when I was in high school, you know, I had a 30-inch waist, you know, but today I got like a 38,
Right.
a 48-inch waist, and I'm too embarrassed. How do you
Right.
talk to that person?
So I can only speak for my facility, and what I really push for my facility is we welcome everybody here. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you are in the bodybuilding aspect and you're a IFBB
Okay.
pro, or if you're a first aid, you'll come in, you'll see the facility. It's black and it's red and everything's uniform, and it looks like really like maybe really intimidating. But once you get in and you find that there's smiling faces around here, man. What we like to
Right.
say to those people is that we've all started somewhere. We've all started somewhere, and
Exactly.
so for me, it's important. What we do is compete in bodybuilding contests. So I competed back in
Okay.
2017. One of my
Okay.
biggest questions that my coach asked me was, "How was your stress level this week?" I did not
Ooh.
understand why did he keep asking me how was my stress level.
Ooh. That's good.
When I was really stressed, he saw it in my progress pictures. He said, "What's your
Ah.
nutrition look like?" Okay, it looked like A, B, and C.
Okay.
What is your stress levels? It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I need you to stop stressing. I need you to figure out a way to stop stressing because it's affecting your body
Okay.
composition. Those
So
things
let's.
work hand in hand. So I kind of give that
You're
example.
right. No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
No,
I
just as
think
I
you're
give that
absolutely.
example,
Uh huh.
everything intermingles.
It does. It does
Uh-huh.
because we I always say it this way: stress comes in the body one way, and it's got to come out another way. A lot of times we don't realize it comes out in high blood pressure. It comes out in diabetes. It comes out in strokes. It comes out in so many different ways that are not advantageous if we are not actively engaged in some sort of physical activity, something to help release all of that stress, all of that anxiety. So when you're looking at some of your clients and seeing some of the clients or even that the trainers are bringing in, how do I deal with stress, and how do I, who maybe have a high stress level, use your facility, or even what's one exercise we could do to help lower our stress levels?
For sure, for sure. I mean, for me, I mean, there's a couple parts to that question. For me, I really find that a personal trainer is really key. I mean, when you think about we're stressed, when you think about we're tired, we think about, especially nowadays, it's kind of cold in the morning. That personal trainer is going to get you out of bed because you know you've paid for it. You know that you need to get down to the gym, and then you're going to give your best effort because they're going to push you. If you have a good trainer, they're going to push you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever walk away and things, your body just starts to calm down. That's very important. That's very important for me.
It is.
I would say very high intensity workouts that are good for you if you're looking for something to really bring your stress levels down. So think about maybe 20 seconds of jumping jacks into 20 seconds of squats into 20 seconds of squat jumps, and these are all they're not simultaneous, but right back to back. This is going to cut your calories. Exactly. So you'll burn calories within 5 minutes, the same amount that you would if you were on the treadmill for 20 minutes. And it's very high intensity. HIIT.
Okay. So what if I'm not there yet, and I start with a low intensity, or maybe you said talking about walking on the treadmill, because sometimes it's about getting the heart pumping and getting that flowing. Absolutely. With that. Where if I'm a beginner and I'm a little embarrassed, how can I start, and where do I start?
For sure. I mean, you said it right on the head. I know that we do the treadmills and things of that sort. Just take the treadmill and put the incline up. Go slow, put the incline up.
Okay.
And that's going to start the heart rate even more. I mean, if you don't want to be as stagnant and it's still new to you, be careful with your knees. If there's something that knee problems, things like that, be very cognizant of that as well. And remember one thing. Kobe said it. Rest in peace, Kobe. But he said one thing. They talked about his air balls that he missed his rookie year against the Utah Jazz, 2 air balls. And he said, how did you navigate through that after and things like that? He said, I had to get over myself. I had to realize that nobody really cares that much about me. And not to sound too blunt, but people really aren't paying that much attention to you. They really aren't.
But when we have that stinking thinking and that anxiety, I walk in the gym, I think everyone is staring at me. I think everyone's like judging me, Yeah, I do. I think, and I think I'm like, well, then I compare myself to others. I'm like, well, man, I don't look like Justin, I don't care that you own the gym. I don't care that that's your lifestyle, in that I'd be like, I don't look like him. So, man, I can't come in there. He going to show me out, as opposed to just saying, dog, how do I even use this piece of equipment? What is this for? Because I think so often we think we have to bulk instead of just saying, what is your personal best? So how do we focus on what our personal best might be, even if for our personal best for the week, maybe the personal best for the month, maybe the personal best for the quarter? How do we get past us and get over ourselves in order to just begin somewhere?
Absolutely. I think that's the answer is in the question, in the sense that you just begin somewhere. For me, for personal best is writing down my last PR, which is my personal rep. Taking pictures of seeing my physical progress. When you just start, you're going to start finding things out. It's kind of like going down a rabbit hole. Okay, I'm kind of getting tired of the treadmill because I've done it for 20 minutes for the past month.
Right.
I think I can do more.
Right.
I know YouTube has been my best friend for years, working out, just finding different workouts, and it takes me down a rabbit hole of, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that.
Right.
And being able to do that and seeing that progress, that your personal best. When you've walked out of your office, doc, when you counseling somebody, or when I walk out of here and serving my trainer, it's like, I probably didn't give my best, or I gave them my all. I gave them my all, and I'm going to. That's my baseline now, and I'm going to improve on it. That's for me. That's what works.
Okay, I like that, because a lot of times we don't stop to applaud or to encourage ourselves. So I love that. So if that's my best today, then you know what? I did it. I left it out there, even if it's walking, walking 10 minutes on the treadmill. Hey, if you haven't walked at all on it, that's your best today. Doesn't mean that we stay there, but we're just keeping to push ourselves with that as well. Justin, tell me about
shameless plug. I have a oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, shameless plug. I have a series that I started called Small Change Sundays, and it's really geared towards around what you're talking about. So basically, what it's doing is saying that every Sunday we all sit there and like, okay, on Monday.
Right.
So I give you a nutrition or an exercise workout that you could take it to the next week. That is a small change that you can implement to take it to your next week. So that is not so cumbersome. So you're not feeling like, how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time.
Right. Okay, give us an example. I love that Small Change Sunday, Small Change Sundays. So give us an example of maybe a nutritional and or it's some sort of physical small change that we can make that could, if we keep making these small changes, becomes a large and bigger impactful change. What's an example of that?
So one of the big nutrition ones that was kind of a hit among some of my friends and things like that was the salad fork method. So we got the salad, but if you look into the oil, if you look into the sugar content, if you look into all the different content in the salad dressing, it's not the best for you. But you don't want to totally eliminate that. So one of the things that we talked about is actually we dip our fork into the salad dressing and then transfer it over to take a scoop of our salad. You're going to decrease, I think the numbers that we talked about that time, you're going to decrease the amount of consumption of salad dressing by 40%, I believe it was, just on average. But you're still getting that satisfaction of tasting that salad dressing.
Okay. So that's amazing. Just something as simple as that. Take the salad fork, dip it in the dressing, then get your salad. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like
that satisfaction of that taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the physical, as far as like working out aspects. Turning your hands in the push-up. So usually we have our hands like this on the floor.
Right.
Try to turn them a little bit to get more of the tension in your arms. Some people are like, I've been doing a lot. Then when you get really good, you start turning them upside down as you're still on the ground, and you're still getting that blood flowing all into your arms.
Oh, you trying to kill a brother?
So as you continue to as we progress, there you go. And then once you start killing that, doctors go here.
Okay. I will start right here. I will start at the basic. You push me. I will start with the girl push-ups.
Hey, we all start everywhere. We start somewhere.
Right. But no, that's so important because I love it. It's the small things can make such a huge difference, and I love referring people to do physical. I think they need to do something that's physical, some sort of physical activity every day, whether it's walking, doing the push-up, the sit-up, something that's going to help get rid of all this negative energy, all this pent up energy, and to help changing our stinking thinking. And I tell people all the time, they say it takes 21 days to break a habit. I don't agree with that. I kind of agree with Dr. Caroline Leaf when she says it takes 3 cycles of 21 days. In order to first, we have to start saying it and doing it. Then in the saying it, I'm going to do 10 push-ups today and do it. I'm going to do 10 push-ups today. Then we start saying it. Then we start believing it. Then when that 10 now becomes 20 on the second cycle of 21 days, and then we start living it in that final segment. So it's the transition from thinking it to believing it to living it.
Yes,
in that process.
And those building blocks are great.
Yes. I love that. As you're doing that. So talk to me about, in remaining focused and doing your gym, you talked about how you wore many hats as a son, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, as a business owner, as a coach, as you got all these. How do you keep your balance and sanity in all that you do, especially being a Black male business owner when it has not always been and it's not always favorable for you or to you? How do you keep balance? How do you remain encouraged? And how do you keep going when there are times, like you shared earlier, when you want to give up?
So I'm a bullet pointed for you, Doc. First of all, for me, you got to have a great spouse. For me, my wife is just great, and that's huge. If home is not right, it's tough.
Shout out to the missus.
Also, shout out to my wife Ashley. But for me, there's so many things, Doc. Like I try to make sure I'm always listening to my first thing that I listen to in the morning has to be encouraging. I can
Okay.
listen to the hip hop,
That's
things like that,
good.
but it has to be encouraging.
Yeah.
Something encouraging. After the gym, I take a cold shower just to really focus my mind, getting me focused on what's going on. So you're talking about, especially these days, it's tough, but getting that focus there, that is it. That is it. Brushing my teeth with the opposite hand, getting my focus back because you're really focused
Uh-oh.
on brushing.
Doc, I think I'm losing you. You start sounding like Darth Vader. Well, make sure we get your audio right. Well, make sure we got your audio right with that.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can. There we go.
Is it okay?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go right ahead.
Brushing our teeth with the opposite hand.
Just getting that focus there. Making sure I have my prayer time in the morning. Things of that sort, getting personal care. Talked about massage. I have massage therapy here. I use the massage therapist here once a week. And working out is also obviously helps to keep me mentally focused. And I plan everything. I'm not sure, my wife and I, Thursday nights is our night. Sunday nights is family nights. Saturday nights is specifically for kids. So making sure that I am focused on everything.
I like that. I like that. You talked about, because I'm a fan of having consistent date nights. I'm a fan of having consistent family nights. I'm a fan of those things because it does help change the dynamics and create that balance. What has it been like since you've kind of focused on those things, having consistency of your schedule, having consistency of now, what I'm hearing you say, your date night, having consistency with the family time, having consistency of your own personal self-care time. How has that made an impact in your life?
For me, and I heard the best quote this week or 2 weeks ago and they said it's from Bill Belichick, is success loves consistency. So I find more success in staying with my consistent, I know it may sound rigid, but you find more success. And I find more success in my marriage. I find more success in business. I find more success with my relationship with my children by keeping that same routine, by being consistent with my time, wherever that may be at that time. So for me, that's what's huge. Like I said, it's really stringent, but that's really huge for me is being able to stay on a consistent schedule and giving it my all, whatever my all is. If it's chasing my daughters around the house, that's what we're looking for.
I love that. Success loves consistency.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's hot. That's a great quote. Because I say it this way, Justin. I believe that successful people are intentional people. That success doesn't happen haphazardly. You just don't wake up and become successful. You are successful because you have focused on success. You become successful because you're intentional about success, and you become successful because you're consistent about success. That is so good.
And words are so powerful, Doc. Like I've really found that words are so powerful.
Yes.
I hate to reference the late great Kobe Bryant, but if you ever listen to, there's unfortunately this interview that Tracy McGrady was talking about Kobe, and he said we used to talk, and Kobe used to say, "Hey man, I want to die early because I want to be legendary, I want to be iconic," but he would say things like that, and I'm very, very big on words. Like if you're saying it, there's a big influence that comes true, creating new neural pathways because of what you said and what you start believing. And that's what I'm big on.
Yes,
that's what I'm big on. So
I love it.
Speak on it.
Yes, that's why I say speak up, speak out, and live. You're absolutely right. And I say this, in changing our stinking thinking, we have to, you said it right, create new neurological pathways in other words, I have to literally take my thoughts, my mind, and transform and transport them from the dumpster where we often put it at, and pick it up and put it in the area that we want and desire it to be. And we start chasing and living that way. You know, you speak those things. You did almost make me go biblical. The Bible says, speak those things that aren't as they are. I am a millionaire. Yes, yes. And you're right. Words have power. We have the power to speak life and death into ourselves with this thing called the tongue.
Yes, sir.
And we need to learn how to speak life into our situation. Can I say that? We need to speak life into our businesses. We need to speak life into our families. We need to speak life into our finances. That's right. Come on, Dr. John Scott. Yes, John Henry Scott. That life and death are both in the power of the tongue. You said it right. And that's what it's about, speaking life into that. So for that business owner who does not speak life into their own business, what does that incentrically do to that, not only that person, the business owner, but to their business as well?
Because for me, if you leave that doubt, if you leave that, I'm going to try to do this. No, you're going to do it. It may take a minute. It may not come to full fruition the way you thought, but like you say, you're creating those new neurological pathways to where everything that you start to do is going to be with the intent to do it the way that you said it was going to be done. Yeah. My wife and I had a vision meeting, and she was like, hey, I'm making X amount of money each month starting in April. Everything that she's going to do now is going to get that type of money in her business.
I love y'all didn't catch it. A vision meeting. Y'all sat down as a family, says, we are having a family vision meeting, and I'm going to make this amount of money
for that. Yes, sir.
You're going to get me excited, Justin. You're going to get me excited. So you said, baby, we having a date now, and we're going to talk about our visions for our relationship, our vision for the family, our vision for our finances, our vision for everything. Come on, don't play. Don't play. Yes. Don't play with me tonight, Justin. But that is so powerful. Having a vision party and a vision dinner with your spouse, with those that you care about, because you are speaking those things. And so now you start chasing and focusing on the dream. Yes, wow. Wow. That's amazing. So since we're talking about vision and the power of the tongue, what is Justin's vision for, I was going to say Q1, Q2, Q3, let's say what's your vision for this year for not just yourself personally, but for your business for 2022?
So in the realm of personal, the best relationship with my wife, the best relationship with my children, and personally debt free. For the gym, I'm looking to make sure that, from a trainer standpoint, if they're winning, I'm winning. Let's be honest. So for me, I want to be able to develop trainers and create an environment that they see that is beneficial. I don't want to just provide you. I never just wanted to provide a brick and mortar. We have medical and dental and life insurance presentations coming up for our trainers, because I want to be able to usher these people to, my core trainers are between 21 and 26. Usher them into a better life. If you stay as a trainer, I still want you to be able to pass, what you've made, what you've done down to generations. Right. If you don't, I still want to help you build a foundation prior to you leaving. So that's my vision for this year. 1, 2, 3, and 4 Qs.
That I love it. I love it. Justin, let me. I don't want people to gloss past that. You said your core trainers are from the age of 21 to 26. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes. That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
And that you are. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's just for me. I know that there's a wide conglomerate of trainers, but for me, that's my biggest target market right now.
I love it, because what I heard you say, and whether you recognize or the view, what I want to honestly, you are pouring into that young adult generation, that young adult crew that so many don't like pouring into. Why is it important that you focus and mentor that group? Because I hear this passion in you for mentoring that. You and I've had some conversations about that before, but why is it so important that you as a black man, that you as a black male business owner, that you as this fit black male business owner who's chasing this dream, who's focused. Come on. I need the church to say amen. Why is it so important? Why is it so important for you that you are coming alongside that group and not throwing them to the curb like so many of us want to, or talking bad about them, but you're investing and pouring into them? I'm going to say it this way, by faith.
I have a passion for this, and not everybody does. So I can't put that on everybody, but I have a true passion for just this conglomerate. I shamelessly on my hat, I created an organization 8 years ago called the Good Man Movement. And basically what we do is we take high school students and give them enrichment activities each month to help them as they go into the real world, where it's resume writing, job interviews, showing how to invest, things of that sort. So this all fits into just who I am and who God has given me that vision for us to help, because I was a young adult at that age at one point. And there's different things that I wish I had. That I wish I had, I want to provide to others. So I wish I had certain things in my life. And if I could provide it, I love to do it. And that's very important to me, because they're the next generation coming up.
Well, they're the generation coming up right now. You're absolutely right. Okay, you took one organization, the Good Man Movement, and now feeding them into your own business and teaching them how to be entrepreneurs, how to think outside the box, because we're not doing that. A lot of people aren't doing that. How you have now taking one, the Good Man Movement, and helping these young men who may not have this opportunity, and said, not only am I going to teach you how to do the resume writing, but I'm going to teach you a viable skill that you can be paid for underneath another umbrella of mine. Man, that is just amazing, phenomenal. What called you, and how did you know that this was your calling, with dealing with, because you have this dual calling, dealing with young men and helping to groom them? That's an undertaking in itself, because I love young people myself. And why, and what was the desire and passion behind that?
Honestly, I saw my dad doing it. My older brother is actually my adopted brother. And once we got to our home church, when we were 10 years old, he basically took him in, and that's all I know. So I took the ball running with it, and I love it. There's just, we kind of took a little hiatus with my nonprofit, because the gym had opened, but at the same time, we're still pouring into these young men's lives. But that's something that I didn't make a dime from, but I got the most fulfillment out of, Doc. And I feel like if we had this would prevent a lot of the different issues that we see. Man, I got bad news this morning. That actually one of the kids that I mentored in college, he was at a boys' home, and unfortunately he was murdered this morning. And there was so many different attributes that went into him, and those things keep me up at night. Yeah, it keeps me up at night, because I want the best for our young men. And I remember one thing, and I don't dominate what I'm saying, Doc, but when I was working at that boys' home, I was 20 years old. And jokingly, I had said, all you kids need daddies. And the boys' home was more so like, more gang members, younger kids, things like that. Right. And the kid, unfortunately, who just got murdered, he said, if I had a dad, I wouldn't be in this situation. And so I feel like I can't be everybody's. Wherever I can pour into you, I want to, and I'm determined.
You're doing a hard pivot on me, and I love it, man, because you're talking about giving hope to young men who thought their lives were hopeless, who thought their lives did not mean anything. And he said it, I love that. Wow, that strikes such a nerve. He says, if I had a dad, dads, listen up, I would not be in this situation. Please. That speaks to the power of men showing up. in
Yes,
the
sir.
lives of our young men and the power.
Yes,
Because
sir.
too often, see, you got me going now. Too often, we have
Come on.
allowed society. So you got me going, Justin. We have allowed other people to dictate and tell us that we aren't valuable when that is a lie from the pit of hell itself. Because he said, you heard it out of the mouths of babes. He says, if I had a father who would just show up, I would
Yes.
not be in this situation. But we thank God for a mentor named Justin Jerry, who says, you may not have a daddy, but I'm coming here as a man to support you, and says, you're going to make it. You're going to be all right. And it breaks our hearts. I get it when one of our young people dies and is murdered like that, and our condolences to the family. And if anything, I pray that this charges our viewing and our listening audience. Listen, especially men, to go out there and try and make a difference. You never know what you showing up can do to make a difference in these young people's lives. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Something. I mean, exposure. When you show, I'm not a flashy type person, but I make sure my car is clean. I drive a nice car, but when I know I'm showing up to young kids events and these young boys, exposure shows them that there's a way out, that there's a way better, that he did it, so I can do it too, because he goes to my church or he's from the same city as me. It's very important. Very important.
Yes. Justin, I hear you, man. And I definitely encourage you. Keep doing what you're doing, and however we can support and maybe even look at joining forces somehow, bring some mentors, some therapy. I don't know what it looks like, but listen, we got to do something together. Definitely. Can we, before we wrap up everything, can you give us a quick virtual tour of your facilities, man? Because we need to come out there, go out to Redlands, man, and get a membership, something. Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's gonna get a little loud because we have before I go out, we got boxing classes going on, we got personal training going on. So I'm gonna take you through, and then you let me know when you're done, and we're gonna go from there. So.
Yeah, we'll come back, and because we're gonna need the folks to know how to get a hold of you. Come on, Jim.
So we have over here that you're looking at is more of the training area that you'll see.
Right.
So a couple of our trainers are here around.
Right.
We got the boxing classes going on.
Right.
Personal training. We got MMA over here in the corner.
Yes. Come on, MMA.
I'm on a
Mental
podcast.
Health Matters with Marty going
I got people talking to
MMA.
me. I'm sorry. We got the sauna over in the corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna take you guys upstairs real quick. I don't want to hold you, but that's
you're good. Listen, for those of you who just joined us, this is Justin Jerry. He's sharing with us his amazing gym out in Redlands, California. We're talking about fighting the stinking thinking and what that looks like. He's a part of the Self-Made Training Facilities, and he's giving us a virtual tour of the facilities. And listen, we all need to go. I'm not saying you all, we all need to go out there and help support Black-owned businesses. You're giving your money to everyone else. You might as well give it to someone who cares.
Yes, sir. So we have crowd therapy upstairs as well. So, I mean, we talked about taking care of yourself. So we have crowd therapy up here. We have pro recovery.
What kind of therapy again for us?
Crowd therapy. So what they do basically is, and the owner's sitting here, but he could basically tell you more about it. But basically what they do is, this is help to repair your body. So it brings you down to a certain level temperature.
Yes.
Your body is, as opposed to sitting in an ice bath. What they also have is they have Normatec that you sit on these plush couches that they have. And what's done there is actually you got the compression on your arms and your legs to kind of help with your recovery.
Right.
The owner of this right here is actually a former NFL player, so he knows all about the recovery. His name is Duran.
Right.
I won't put him on the camera like that because I just walked the stairs on him, but for sure, yeah. But we also have a couple of other rooms up here. There, massages going on, teeth whitening going on, body contouring. So we're trying out here, Doc. We're trying to.
You're a one-stop shop. I need an office out
there.
One-stop
shop. That's the goal.
Mental health therapy out there, so we can do that and get me a salt cave, so we can do salt therapy as well. Come on through.
Come on through.
And yes, sir. Man. Okay, Justin, how do people get a hold of you? What's your handles? How do we come and do a visit? How do
Sure.
I do a consultation with you, man? If I'm looking at how, if especially if you're in, again, the IE out in Redlands,
Yes.
y'all, you got to come through and support this brother. How do we get a hold of you, man?
So what you want to do is our business page is Self-Made Training Facility, RDS for Redlands, shortened R David S. And then my personal page is just _D_Jerry, just like my name. And if you wanted to, you're vetting for a personal trainer on our page, you'll look at our elite section in our highlight. All of our trainers are posted there. You reach out to them via DM, or you can reach out to us via DM connection for you guys. Email is justin@selfmadetraining.com. I get back to you within the hour. So however what services you're looking for, personal training, MMA, boxing, crowd therapy, body contouring, I got you covered. I will connect you the way you need to be connected.
Man, it's so good, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming in on the show today, man. Again, Justin is going to be joining us, and as we do this, man, we coming through to support. We're coming through to support. I'm coming out. I'm taking some pictures, put them on my site, everything, man. As we're going to start doing some recognized business of the month. I don't know. We're going to do something, but I love it, man. Thank you for reminding us about remaining focused and the importance of the physical and mental together and how it makes a difference in our lives. Y'all, again, shout out to Justin Jerry and what he's doing. So listen, go check him out. You definitely will not be disappointed whatsoever, y'all. Again, for our last segment of the show, it's called the Live segment. And we want to just definitely, again, thank Justin Jerry for coming out. I want to remind you of something he definitely said in here as we're getting ready to close. He said, success loves consistency. Success loves consistency. In this, in order to remain focused and become successful as a family man, as a business person, whatever you desire in life, the key is consistency, aka definitely staying disciplined and focused. That is what's going to take, and what it's going to take in order to you to become. You have the ability not only to be successful, but you have the ability to be great. I'm not talking about good, because good is the enemy of great, according to Jim Collins. So definitely, thank you for joining us on this segment of Mental Health Matters with Marty. I want to remind you of a couple things now. We want you to definitely check out our website at mentalhealthmarty.com. There you will find some amazing merchandise to help you along this mental health journey and to support you along the way. I have my Stop the Stinking Thinking journal that we have. And just to remind us, how do we do that? We have to change the neurological pathways and take our minds from the dumpster into where we're heading. We also have Black Mental Health Matters. In other words, Black Men Matter. We have that in our t-shirt and in our hoodie. It's cold out there, y'all, and you need a hoodie to support you with that, to remind you that Black men and mental health matter. I'm also very, very excited to share with you. We are going to be doing this amazing event, and you will see Justin Jerry in that as well. Save the date for the Black Man Made Well virtual and live men's symposium for the IE. Come on, give it up for that. We had Justin Hudson on last week with One Love IE. We had Justin Jerry on this week with definitely Good Man Movement and with the gym that he's doing. And we definitely want to make sure that you're helping in the Self-Made Training Facility. That is where it's all about. Now, how do you get registered and how do you find out more information about the Black Man Made Well? Please visit our website at marcelconsulting.com to register and get more information. Again, marcelconsulting.com. You will get in there, register. We'll make sure we send you email blast. We have an action-packed week involved for you on that week, and it's going to be dynamite. It's going to dynamite like I'm in the 70s. Dynamite! Yes, it's going to be action-packed, and you don't want to miss it. I need you to call your boyfriend. I need you to call your husband. I need you to call your nephews, your uncles, your grandfather, your brothers, every man that you know to be a part of this conference, because it is going to be, again, mind-blowing. It is, and you don't want to miss out on this. Again, this is going to be great, and you'll see Justin Jerry again on this. Well, as I say each week, as we're closing, we have to stop the stinking thinking by changing our attitude and changing how we think. How do we do this? We don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in the shadow of shame, but we want you to speak up, speak out, and to live. We'll see you next week. Take care and God bless.
Enjoy.